Welcome, everybody. Thanks for attending our session today. Just wanted to go ahead and give you kind of the synopsis or the summary. I'll read it. But during the summer of 2025, Louisiana Tech created an AI team built to build an AI chatbot for the university's IT help desk. The team built the chatbot under 3 months and looking to build AI chatbots for other departments as well. So just to kind of give you an overview of what we're going to be talking about today. As far as the challenges that we face, and this is kind of a table of contents, which is I'm sure is probably close to the challenge that you all face as well. As far as the challenges we face, we'll go into turning the challenges into opportunities, the student AI team, what we built, the architecture and technology, and then the student development and impact. I also want to introduce Natalie Osborne. She's our Director of Client Services here at Louisiana Tech. So the challenge we face, as I'm sure you all are dealing with challenges that you have out there, as far as not enough resources, not enough people. In fact, I even didn't think about that, and really didn't think about this until I created it, until we were working on this presentation. But some of the positions that we created a cybersecurity group, and we created a Center for Instructional Technology, and 2 of those positions would have been in client services. So I apologize to Natalie for this right now. But the challenge is high volume of repeated requests, which I'm sure your help desks and a lot of your departments are dealing with as well. Underutilized knowledge base, slow response during peaker times. You all know NSO and the beginning of the orientation, beginning of the school year, the first 3 weeks are crazy, then it kind of dies off a little bit until the next quarter, next semester goes. Limited scalability with existing staff. We have really tried to utilize our student workers here as much as possible. And again, trying to utilize existing, kind of have a thing going back and making sure that we're getting the most out of the products that we have. And this is utilizing our knowledge base and putting all those pieces together was a big part of this. So we turn this, as it's making lemonade out of lemons and whatnot, but we turn this challenge into an opportunity. So I remember it was about this year, it was last year at this time, in our weekly leadership meeting in IT, I said to Natalie, I said, it'd be really great if we could we had some student workers, if we could if we could have this help or have a chatbot, AI chatbot up by the fall. And it's one of those things as a CIO, you often say things, but she heard it and she made it come true. She put all the pieces together, established the team. As I mentioned before, we don't have as many staff resources as according to EDUCAUSE as we should or as much as we need. We really utilize our student workers here. I started off as a student worker when I was in my second year in grad school at Pepperdine. So I appreciate the student workers and appreciate what the value they can bring. At the university here, we have a security operations center that's staffed by 28 student workers. So that kind of model kind of helps with this, where our students are getting real world experience, hands-on experience. We wanted to use the AI to improve the support. Again, we also know, as you all know, if you work in higher ed or if you have kids, they would much rather prefer to interact with a chatbot than talking to someone over the phone. So again, a lot of these things we talked about before, repetitive answers, the same thing over and over, that those things can be better supported and handled by using chatbots and whatnot. So again, building solutions with our students as designers, not just users, ownership. These students, just as with our SOC, these students understand the value. They understand that AI is a big part. AI is everywhere now. You can't go anywhere. And the students getting real hands-on experience when they're able to get into an interview and say, not only did I read about this in a class, and I know we have some professors, including one that I know on here, not only did I learn about this in class, but I actually learned about it in class, but I actually have real world experience in how I use it at the university. So that's how we turn that challenge into an opportunity for us. Natalie?
Yes, I'm excited to share with you about our AI student team and how it came together. Here at the Help Desk, we have about 35 student workers that make up the Help Desk. And when we originally started our team for the AI chatbot, we had about 10 student workers out of the 35 that joined our team. When we mentioned this to the student workers here at the Help Desk, we immediately had a team of volunteers. The students understood the value that this skill set brings to their resumes. We combined our Help Desk student workers, students with cloud and coding interests, and added technical writing interns to gain real-world hands-on experience, which is what Louisiana Tech is famous for. Now we'll talk a little bit about what we built. Our chatbot. We've seen a trend over the last 3 years that our student ticket count has significantly increased, and we needed a way to reach our students with information when they wanted it. It is built from the Help Desk knowledge base. It makes it simpler to find answers to common questions, and it's available any time of the day. And now they have a way to create a ticket that interfaces with our Help Desk ticketing system. This architecture is designed to make the chatbot scalable, responsive, and maintainable. The user asks a question, Amazon Lex handles the feedback, AWS Bedrock powers the responses and uses the knowledge base provided by the S3 buckets. If the response is answered, then great, and if not, then it creates a ticket for the Help Desk. Overall, the architecture balances performance, scalability, and responsiveness, while giving us the flexibility to evolve the chatbot as the requirements grow. Our original goal was to have our chatbot ready for the beginning of fall quarter of this year, as Tom mentioned earlier. We were excited to have met that goal. It honestly seemed unrealistic when he mentioned it. But I feel like we are just getting started. As the chatbot has evolved this year and continues to evolve, we immediately added the ability to create tickets. We are working with our Help Desk and technical writing team to improve the conversations and capabilities, and we are adding AWS Connect to enhance the Help Desk capabilities and already looking to scale this functionality across the campus. Connect would give us the ability to add AI agents and two-way interactions and with users. The students continue to drive and lead the developments of not only the chatbot, but of the AWS platform overall. The students thrive in an environment where they can put what they learn in class and at work into action. At the Help Desk, this year, using AWS tools, they have created an automated scheduling tool and also a data backup tool that we use to back up user data profiles here at the Help Desk. We've even created a computer check-in system that we use daily to track and interact with our ticketing system to improve our workflows.
So as I mentioned before, the student development and development and impact as far as our students, again, are getting real hands-on experience with real certifications. We have something called the AWS Academy here that we have a good relationship with obviously with AWS and our partners, and giving them hands-on experience. We've been working with our AWS rep, even though we've gone through 4 in the last year. We've been working with them, and that's been wonderful. And we've been able to kind of see how other institutions are doing. And in addition to what we're doing here on AWS, we've also moved and actually this happened first, but we've moved our virtual desktop over from being on premise using VMware to actually using AWS and their cloud services. And that's been wonderful. So the foundations were laid there. And our students are able to go ahead and get this hands-on experience. They're able to do certifications through AWS. They're able to add that to their resume. And again, practical real-world experience and knowing how and knowing what to use out there before they go out and think out in the real world. The systems, it's neat to be able to for our students to be able to tell other students that they handled this. Like Natalie mentioned before, this is just the first part. We are going to be using this we're looking to expand it to our international programs. We're moving it to our register. We're moving it to our financial aid. We're going to be building it with our admissions and our recruitment area. So, and in fact, even, the concept that I talked with our university president last week about the foundation that we've laid here using AWS really could become a virtual one-stop or a virtual help desk, a virtual one-stop for everyone, as far as the integration into our help desk ticketing system, which I think is huge. Being able to put those pieces together so it goes right from the chatbot into a help desk ticket, that's huge, and what's going to continue to develop for the future there. As far as career ready portfolio, I mean, again, like I mentioned before, this is hands-on experience of our students using what they're going to use in the real world in a real world environment of a university, but a safe environment for them to go ahead, and they rise to the top. They understand the level of sophistication, but also they understand the importance that these tools are going to give them. As far as this, I think is an awesome, and I give Natalie all the credit for doing this. As far as where we got smarter, we added technical writing to AI. So Natalie partnered with our technical writing class and actually had the technical writers help create the guides. So here we're taking something that happened in IT and bringing in another part of the university, and obviously I think the fellowships and the relationships and the partnerships between us and academics are the key. But we're bringing in technical writers that you wouldn't necessarily think technical writers would be working in IT on AI, but it's a perfect illustration. It's a perfect, I think it's a perfect complementary. So step-by-step documentation was written by the technical writing interns, who understand both the process and the audience. So, we're really, to me, and when Natalie did that, it was kind of one of those things of, that's taking it to a higher level. That is, really being able to not just make a car and put wheels on it, but, have a huge engine in it that goes really fast. Part two of that was students testing and validating instructions. So we had the students testing, the students making sure that it worked, looking for anything that we might have missed before the go live. They were very aggressive and got it done. And again, a timetable that I didn't realize I had said, but just the timetable that was done, was awesome. But they were able to make sure everything we didn't just roll out, I won't say any bad words, we just didn't roll out garbage. We did it. And again, adding content added the chatbot, validating, ingesting the AI chat, the knowledge base, and then being able to use, for anyone that says AI is new, it's not new. If you've been using a search engine, which all of us have for 25 years, I'm a bad speller, and every typo I have in there, put in there, it makes the search engine. So the search engine's has made a lot of money off me. The search engine's gotten a lot better because of everything that you type incorrectly and then click on something, you're correcting the AI in it. So adding more content. As far as some key insights, what AI does, and you can't talk about AI. It is just so much out there, but some key, what it does well, it condenses large knowledge bases into digestible answers. It delivers consistent responses at any hour, and we have, just because of resources, our help desk here is from 8 to 5, but for our students, y'all know students are up very late and do homework very late. This allows us to give support to them when we wouldn't be able to do that support, and be able to give them some help. Again, common questions answered instantly. You can look at any of your help desks or any of your areas, or even professors. The top 10 questions that you're going to get. It's the same questions always, but what those questions are going to be. For admissions, for financial aid, you can come up with the top 10, and Natalie did a wonderful job of taking our top 10 questions that are we use Case from Quest, or from Dell, from Quest, but that's our help desk ticketing system. So she was able to go ahead and look at the top 10 issues that we have and be able to address those, because they're very easy ones. Where humans are essential is writing complete and accurate step-by-step guides. I created some AI a couple weeks ago. I created a flyer that had a bunch of misspellings in it. So you have to look at this stuff. Validating the AI responses are correct and safe. All of us that work in an educational environment, we have weird, it's not weird, but we have different languages that we speak to. We say things differently. We use acronyms. We use, letters, like our CIT is our Center for Instructional Technology. So we use, letters to explain that people outside would understand. And AI has not been able to understand yet. So we need to look through that to validate those responses are correct and safe. And I will also say, as far as correct and safe, is that if you're dealing with any kind of counseling centers, or you're dealing with any of those things, that if someone were to say they are suicidal or they are not feeling well, you need someone that's valid, someone that's looking at that can instantly get some person help if they need help. Catching nuances, in edge cases, AI misses. AI is not perfect. That is for sure. So we're meeting the way our students want to be supported. As I said before, they want 24/7 support. They want to be able to pick up their cell phone and be able to get an answer, and be able to text. They don't want to talk to somebody. They want, which has been good, so it's access to our student, staff, and faculty. Our tickets, our repetitive tickets, have gone down. So we've seen a reduction in our common issue tickets. Instant response. My kids, when I say, well, we just have to look up something at the thesaurus or in a dictionary, and they're like, what? Well, yes, I mean, these kids, which I'm not saying it's true, they can get any access to any question, any answer, in the course of seconds, when we used to have to pull out a book from or go home and wait to get a book out of your library at home or out of the desk. So instant response, that's their expectation, and that's as it should be. And the impact is 100% student built. And I can't tell you, when I go talk to other CIOs and I go talk, just the pride of having our students build this. It's awesome. It's truly what they should be doing here. And it's just been great. Peak usage trend spikes, we're able to adjust that. So if we can, for instance, at the beginning of the quarter, be able to have the chatbots or be able to help and be able to handle, even if it's 20-30%, that's 20 or 30% that is less of a burden on our help desk that's already overburdened with staff shortages and whatnot. And it gives them a little bit extra for us to allow us to go ahead and focus a little bit more in-house or a personal touch, which I think is big. And you all know, as far as you can't, everything is chatbots. All companies, credit cards, bank accounts, all those things are chatbots as well. So we're just keeping up with the Joneses. Natalie?
Yes. So finding out what our students gain, this is what I get most excited about. When the students feel valued and heard, they want to work in this environment. They are getting real world experience that empowers them to apply and get the jobs that they are wanting right out of college. 3 to 5 years experience used to be intimidating for them to apply for jobs, but now they are ready and skilled to apply for these jobs right out of college. This spring, we will have 5 students graduating from the help desk. Aiden is one of those students. He has been at the help desk for 3 years now. He was our team lead for the chatbot. He started out at the help desk working on tickets and quickly shined with his abilities and his ideas. He is now interviewing for cloud engineering positions, starting out at $85,000 for a college grad. He tells me daily how thankful he is for this experience and the certifications that he has gained through working at the help desk and through working out on the chatbot. He has done this work, but it's also his experience that is paying off. Another student is Mark, who has been at the help desk for 2 years now. He was able to get an internship with the Hyatt Resorts last year, and they asked him to return and specifically wanted to utilize his AI skills in a project. Our students are gaining valuable skills from their classes, but the real world experience at the help desk is what really sets them apart. We continuously receive feedback from former student workers explicitly stating that their experience at the help desk was why they were offered their positions.
So what's next? I've got some big plans for this. I really, as I mentioned before, we're working with AWS, and obviously AWS. we're looking at integrating this into all those departments that I referred to earlier. We're also looking to integrate the chatbot into a dashboard that we're creating. And that dashboard would be for high level for VPs and presidents and whatnot to look at for early alerts. So, and also being able to, as I mentioned before, staff resources. We're kind of looking at this as an opportunity to give our staff in some of these areas some resources that can help them. And that's where the chat, and that's where some unified communications and being able to, okay, so take the AI chatbot, it goes into it's AWS Connect, and being able to then send an automated email or a voicemail or a text message out to these people based on what their response was. There are some smarter integrations that can be used. So we could, very easily be able to pass it off from a help desk ticketing system to a financial aid question to enrollment, and being able to keep track of those conversations. So as you all get, when you call to a different department, you pick up the phone and you have to start over from scratch. Here, you wouldn't have to start over from scratch. The person that was able at the different department would actually be able to see their chat log, would be able to see all the communication that we've already had with them. So expanded student roles. Now is looking at creating cohorts for AI. We've got some different levels in our SOC. We've got a SOC level 1, SOC level 2. We're adding a SOC level 3. So Natalie she actually had a student lead, Aiden, that did an amazing job. I would love to figure out a way to keep him here and hire him. He delved straight into this. So giving the students some different responsibilities, some leadership. So not only could they say they worked on AI, but they actually were a student lead on AI, which again helps them when they get out. Because the first question, have you managed anyone? Yeah, I actually have managed. I managed a student team, and this is what we accomplished. So additional automation projects, again, student-led innovation model to operational changes across campus with IT. So we're looking again to look at all the different departments, and also I talk about AWS just because that's our partner with this product. As you all know, there's probably 10 different AI companies that have been invented since we started this presentation 23 minutes ago. So there's a bunch out there. The nice thing with AWS, it is supported well. It's industry standards, and we already have a state contract with them, and we already have a relationship with them. So we don't have to put anything out to bid, and it makes it easier to continue. So that allows us to go ahead and look at some other pieces that are within AWS and within the chatbot. Why this matters. AI improves operations, and that's obviously well stated. And well known. Again, routine tasks are handled. Staff are freed up for more complex or high value work. Again, if you're talking about us, it's customer service. If you're talking about recruitment, you're actually talking about someone being able to focus more on recruiting students and more face time, which we all know we're all fighting to keep our students here. We're all fighting to get more students here. So whatever we can do on the backside to go ahead and become more efficient, that's huge. Students gain, again, career-ready experience. Can't emphasize that enough. Real certifications, real systems, real impact. A help desk becomes a learning lab, and this is something that I love it. It's huge, and it's a model that really transforms IT into becoming a place, not just, I always talk about coins, so it's the two sides. It's building them up and giving them real hands-on experience. Selfishly, on the other side, it's allowing us to be able to get some help and some resources that we don't necessarily have right now. Those 25 or 35 students in the help desk, that's huge. That's more than a bunch of full-time staff employees. Student workers, you have to watch them a little bit more, but these students, and Natalie's done a wonderful job of training them. They get it. They understand the value, and that's been huge. So any questions? I know there is a meet the speakers after. We can look in the chat thing if there's any questions. Natalie, anything that you'd like to add?
No, I don't have anything.
Monitoring the chat, see if there's anything there. I will say there's some other ways to do this too. You can also look for financial aid on your campus. We had a report done by the financial aid office to see who was available for federal work aid, and that was a great place to start. We then went ahead and reached out to those students. I would recommend doing at the beginning of the quarter, the beginning of the year, before people have got settled. But that's one way to get. You have a ton of students that are on your campus that have federal work aid that don't necessarily. There's money sitting on the table there that they don't necessarily always get jobs. But with me, and if you are students that work in the help desk are going to get good jobs, whether they're in IT or not. Everyone knows. I'm not going to get into David Spade here from Saturday Night Live, but if you're someone that has some IT skills in your job, whatever your job is, you're usually well welcomed at your job.
Tom is right. We've really utilized the federal work study program here on campus because that helps us as far as our budgets. And we're hiring the students here at the help desk. So we also have regular funded positions and we have those federal work study positions. But by utilizing both of those student workers, we can get the federal work study where that is differently funded positions. But that also gives students that are not necessarily IT backgrounds, we can get them in here and get them trained, because everyone brings different ideas and different visions here at the help desk. And they don't all necessarily have to have that IT background, but that also adds to their resumes. They get in here because, like I tell everyone at the help desk, like, it doesn't matter what your degree is, you need to have IT skills nowadays. And so they're all wanting that for their resumes now. So it's been helpful to have all different avenues of degree programs in here at the help desk.
And I'll also say a partnership with computer science or some of the professors, asking them if there's anyone that might be a good fit, is also a great way to do it as well. I talked about the Security Operations Center here. It was a partnership between a cybersecurity professor in the College of Engineering and Sciences and myself. I couldn't have done it with him because I didn't have the expertise, and it's been a partnership. In fact, our SOC is led by the manager or the director for the SOC is a faculty member that works with me and has a course released to do this. So the partnership, again, partnerships and collaboration between academics and IT are huge.